Before I do start this video, I want to make it very clear that when it comes to every club has a list of players for every position that they do want to go for, just in case like a player does not for some reason want to come to the club, or maybe that player is too expensive, or maybe it's just simply like for example Barcelona may not be interested in that player anymore because of the recent performances. So when we speak about multiple players in a certain position and who Barcelona are trying to get, that is very normal. Barcelona do need options because you just never know if a player like Luis Diaz and the operation might work out or not. And so for today's video, we are going to be talking about Lookman, Ademola Lookman. Hansi Flick sees Lookman as a financially viable and tactical fit to strengthen Barcelona's wing. So Barcelona do value his versatility, the fact that he can play on both wings, and also as a attacking midfielder. His explosiveness and the ability to create from multiple positions is amazing. So Lookman is a player that Hansi Flick for sure is looking at and saying like, okay, this guy can improve our attack. If Luis Diaz does not work out, then maybe Marcus Rashford. If Marcus Rashford does not work out, then Lookman is going to be the third option. That is just how things do go. So let's go more in depth on who Lookman is and why Hansi Flick is interested in the player. Or you can even say, maybe argue, it's Deco, the one that wants Lookman. Either way though, there is total consensus. TV3 reports that Lookman has been on Barcelona's radar since March 2025, maybe even last year. And his price tag right now is very unclear. There has been some Italian sources claiming that his price tag could be at around 60 million euros. However, other suggested sources that are very close to Lookman have claimed that his release clause is going to be 30 million euros. Due to his contract being expired on June 2026. And as we all know, the closer and closer you do get to your end of the contract, your price tag is going to get lower. And as of now, there is no signs of a renewal. And there's a big reason why Lookman does not want to renew with Atalanta, which we are going to be explaining in a few minutes. But there has been no official negotiations yet. But Barcelona will remain interested if financial terms are manageable. So as of now, Barcelona have just spent 25 million euros on Joan García, which is our most recent signing. They're going to want to look elsewhere to improve the team overall. And we'll see, right? Because if it's true, if Lookman is actually only 30 million euros, I believe that there is going to be a lot of competition for the player. Atlético Madrid, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Juventus are all looking at Lookman right now. So like I've said, his contract does run until June 2026. There's no renewal talks. Lookman is not interested whatsoever. And this is going to give Barcelona leverage because Atalanta are going to be risking on losing Lookman for free in the next summer, meaning that they have to negotiate something in the summer of 2025 and hopefully for a discount fee. In total, right, in terms of his performances, right, looking at his footballing skills, total goals in all competitions for the 2024-2025 season is 20, 15 goals in Serie A, 5 goals in the Champions League, assist 7. Atalanta has finished third in Serie A. And he has had a lot of notable moments over the past few months and years. For example, he made a hat-trick in the Europa League final, which was back in the 2023-2024 season, and Atalanta won their first major trophy in a very long time. He is very well known for his scoring his scoring abilities, and the fact that he can ghost into central spaces, the fact that he can lose his marker. It is amazing. His role, it has always been at Atalanta for him to be like an inside forward rather than a traditional touchline winger. He prefers to play on the inside left channel, which is completely going to be Rafinha's position, and you can for sure see what that is going to look like, right? Like you can see Lookman and Rafinha really compete for one another and in that position. But he plays across all fronts in the front three. He can play on the right wing as a number 9 and also as a left winger. He can drift, essentially shoot with both feet, and that's very important. He can make late runs into the box because of his explosiveness, and his tactical IQ is also amazing. The fact that he tracks defenders' movements to create space for his teammates is amazing. He operates smartly between the lines and anticipates play a lot. In terms of like the positions that he plays the most is going to come down to the left wing position and the right wing position. So ideally, this player can give rest to Lamine Yamal and Rafinha, which is really good. His dribbling, I would just say that it's confident, right? Lookman is very confident in his dribbling. I would say though that in terms of like comparing Lookman and Luis Diaz is much more of a dribbler compared to Lookman. Lookman, I would say, is a little more on the side of Rafinha. I would say that he's a good balance between Rafinha and Luis Diaz because he can do both. So he can run into open space and he can also dribble with the ball very well and win those one-on-one situations. His finishing, he now averages over 3-point shots per 90 minutes. And from closer to goal, it's also amazing, right? His crossing, he can score the ball from wide to central areas effectively. In terms of movements, as always, he can always arrive in situations where he's undetected by defenders. He has claimed before that he is inspired by Sadio Mane in terms of like the movement and going into tight spaces, which is also amazing. That's also going to be greatly appreciated at a team like FC Barcelona. Now, here's the thing. I want to talk about the reason why he may not want to renew with Atalanta and why currently right now he's not wanting to renew and he's not showing any interest. This past season, right, in the Champions League, Atalanta were in it. And Lookman was also in the team, obviously. And during that UCL exit against Club Brugge, Lookman did score, right? He came in and he scored immediately right after, right? Which is amazing. But later, he missed a penalty in that exact same game that ultimately led towards Atalanta getting knocked out in the Champions League. And it sparked a lot of criticism because the coach, I believe that his name is Gasperini or something like that, right? The coach of Atalanta, he did attack Lookman. He said he has this is what he said, right? And you guys are not going to believe this. And I quote, "He has, frankly, terrible record even in training. That was a gesture I did not appreciate." And this is him stating that he is a horrible, but I mean like horrible penalty taker because he did miss the penalty in that game against Club Brugge. And he's saying like, yeah, this guy, Lookman even misses these penalties in training. And I don't appreciate that. I just don't. Like, this guy is just tremendous and terrible at that. And Lookman really did not like that response. He's like, really? My own trainer, my coach was basically telling me that the reason why we have been knocked out of the Champions League was because of my penalty, and you want to criticize my penalty skills? Like, what's going on here? He even made a public response because of just how hurt he was, and he clarified that he was instructed by the designated taker to take the penalty. So he was told to take the penalty, which he missed, by the way. And then after that, he expressed his feelings that he felt deeply disrespected for being singled out and being claimed that the reason why Atalanta were knocked out was because of him. He did also reaffirm in that statement that he has loyalty and commitment to Atalanta, but he just feels disrespected because of what the coach said. And I believe that is where the fallout began. It is because the coach is like, you are a horrible penalty taker, and I just never want to see you do that again. I don't even know why you did it. You can't even score these penalties during the training sessions. And I just think that as a player, like when I'm trying to put myself on his shoes, I would also be a little furious about those comments, and I would just say, you know what, like, this relationship is slightly broken. I don't know why you said that. You never even say sorry. You didn't even go out there into the media and said that what I said was wrong, etc., etc. And maybe it's just time. Maybe it's just time for Lookman to look for a different club. And Lookman right now is 26 years old. He's entering the peak of his years. He has high work ethic. He has shown consistent growth. He is a mature player who understands how to navigate multiple roles inside and also on the wide. If his price tag is truly 30 million euros, then yes, of course, Barcelona should remain as a competitor to sign the player. Obviously, we want to go for Luis Diaz first, if not Marcus Rashford. And if not, then yes, I would welcome the signing of Lookman for only 30 million euros. Anything more than that, I believe that Barcelona should not go for, because I know that Deco and Hansi Flick and Joan García are being very careful on how they spend their money in the summer. Like I've said, and I'm going to continue to say it, Deco has claimed multiple times that he wants to sign 2 to 4 different players, okay? Hansi Flick has said that he wants to reinforce every line in the squad. You cannot do that if you're going to be spending more than 65 to 75 to 85 million euros on a certain player. You can't. You put all your eggs in one basket. And I can see why Barcelona are looking at Lookman and saying, okay, 30 million euros for him is something that is realistic. We're going to put him on our notes, and we're going to make him a possible target in case any other operation with Luis Diaz or Marcus Rashford just does not end up working out. And so that is it, right? That is going to be my talk about Lookman. Let me know in the comment sections down below. Do you believe that Lookman is Barcelona material? Do you believe that if Luis Diaz or Marcus Rashford does not work out, would you go for Lookman next? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.